Welcome everyone to Uma Sessions. We are so excited to have this next performer. He infuses classical technique with his influences of post-rock, emo, shoegaze. Please give a warm welcome to Bilal Nasser.
This first song is called On the Surface. Thank you.
You released your debut album, Where the Orange Groves Grow. Can you tell me about that first project of yours, that first album?
I started writing Orange Groves in my last year of studying music at a university. And really what the album is it's a diasporic kind of work where growing up in a family where a lot of people are refugees, for instance, from the Middle East, from Palestine, being surrounded by these kind of things and then existing in a place like Canada, there's a weird sense of identity that you have and belonging. And I think conceptually that record was my attempt to sort of situate myself within these narratives and really ask the question how can I be my own person will also like relate to these and kind of squaring the circle in terms of that. And, you know, Where the Orange Groves Grow were the first set of pieces where I was like, oh, I can kind of do this. And I felt like that was where I was starting to come into my own and really figure out what I wanted to do. There are these long and complex solo guitar compositions, but also there's stuff that incorporates like vocals and electronics and looping. Like I'm always looking for gazy methods to make sound. So I'm like, okay, I have a bunch of pedals, I have this guitar. The way that you put a pickup in a classical guitar, it's basically a giant microphone. So I was like, okay, what if I sing into it, right? And then I would put that through like all my pedals. And I was not a confident singer live. I'm still not. So it was a way for me to like include vocals in my set.
You perform in spaces like warehouses, skate parks. You perform with bands that are like hardcore bands, punk bands. You're actually one of the first known classical guitar players to have a mosh pit at one of your shows. So can you tell me about what you look for when you are booking a show?
Like I said, I really was part of like the academic kind of like institutional way of doing music. It was more so just like, I want to play shows and I want to play with musicians. But there's no space for me in that scene, like in the classical world, so I just kind of did it however I knew how. So I just would like call a bookstore and get some bands in a bookstore and do a show there. Or we did like a skate park, you know, a coffee warehouse, like places like that where I just had friends in bands. And I feel like I'm trying to bring people in instead of asking someone who's like used to going to like Fog Lounge in Windsor or whatever, where it's like loud and rowdy, to come into like an academic space and sit like dress nicely. It's like I've been in that world and it's so tense, right? And it like I feel like it ruins something because it kind of severs the connection when like someone's like on the stage and then, you know, people are far away. For me, like I think the environment plays a massive role in terms of just welcoming the audience in and actually having that like dialogue. Thank you.
Uma Loft sessions, Bilal, take one.
Well, now you have a new album. What was that like to record your album in the studio in the space here?
Nate and I just wanted to do this, and we wanted a more raw space that had character, I think. And this space just like, it has a lot of character in terms of the sound, and it's like weird. And honestly, it's not the best place to record it. Like, you hear people yelling outside. I like that the album didn't turn out sounding just like it could have been recorded literally anywhere. Uma is a character on this record now because of the rawness, and it sounds like it was recorded in Downtown Windsor.
Your new album's called How Can We Say Nothing? Where did that name, How Can We Say Nothing, where did that come from?
How Can We Say Nothing? Like, it automatically means many different things. It wasn't supposed to be this like political thing or like putting it on people, but it was more so for myself, like being able to speak out against things that I think were happening like in my own life, and being able to give voice to feelings and parts of myself that I was not willing or ready to accept, and things in my life that I wasn't necessarily ready to confront. So it was a very personal and emotional thing. I was in a position where like I could not see a future for myself, so I started looking at the past, right? And I think that's where like this nostalgic quality comes from. In that, like, I was just like looking at home videos and looking at my childhood, and we ended up with a bunch of themes that I think were just recurring, and that's what the album's about.
So the cover of your album is a photo of your grandparents. It feels very impactful. Do you want to speak a little bit to the decision to put your grandparents on the cover of this album?
Yeah, I feel like my music always accidentally ends up being political just because like what I write about my family and memory. I could have come up with an album cover, and I was just like looking through old photos, and I had, you know, this picture of them that I thought was really powerful. They're in Mecca in it. And you know, given that they're on the album and there's all the, like, their voices are heard on the album, I feel like that was kind of the personal and emotional statement I was trying to make. But then, like, obviously, like, whether or not this was trying to be, like, a political thing, like, politics was interested in my grandparents, and politics is interested in my grandparents' memory. So I tend to embrace it, and I tend to embrace the politicization of my identity, the fact that like it is one that frankly is contested. You know, it's a controversial thing to like even exist as a Palestinian, right?
Oh my goodness, please give it up one more time for Bilal Nasser. Amazing. So we want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Bilal's made a huge impact in this city, so I want to thank Bilal for being one of the artists for our project.
Thank you very much.